welcome back to the timeline we're in. So it's the next day after I got here, and it's a beautiful day, a little windy, but temperatures are nice. I'll show you what the big plans are for this trip I'll be focusing on. So the main thing I'm focusing on is this area right in here, which is that little half circle I'm making. It'll come out about 25 feet from that grade there, and it'll be a foot above this shelved area here, so it'll never go underwater when the pond's completely full. So that's a lot of material to haul out of there. It's probably going to take most of the trip to do that. And then I have that little pile there of material that was left that I didn't have time to move last trip I had the machine out here. Up on the road, I'll be working on keep going up with that road to that real high elevation where the water tanks are going to be in that dome structure that I'm going to make out of the rock here on the property. So I'm also going to haul all this rock out of this roundabout and go ahead and put it along the road, build those dikes to hold the water as it comes down the mountainside there and make it soak in. Also going to put a little time in this area right here, make that more of a sweeping corner, which will be easier to get the trailer up. And also this material here, the steel that I dropped off with the trailer when I didn't have the excavator, I'm gonna take it to the side and stack it neatly where it's out of the way for now. That's the big goals this trip. We'll see what I get done. We'll go look at the tire that blew on me and what the rim looks like, and the U-bolts that the threads were sheared off of it. Water looks quite clean in the pond. Looks like it hasn't had any inflow in a while. You can see down probably about 3.5 feet. Those cattails that were growing over there, looks like the mule deer found them, ate them down to the ground. They'll come back, I'm sure, springtime. Well, there's what's left of that tire that blew on me at 1:30 in the morning. You can see that rim's trashed. It's all out of shape. These are the U-bolts. The threads were sheared off of it. Now this tire here, it's losing air. Probably only got about 15 pounds of air in it. I'm sure it's leaking on that weld bead on the rim. Again, this is one of the old rims. So I'm gonna take this tire off and put the spare that I had out here at the ranch on there, and then I'll use that as my spare on the way home if I need it. It's not one thing, it's another. So these are those brackets that I made to support that flue stack up there on the wood burning stove. This side here will mount to the wall on the building. Got two plates there where I can put anchors in, and then this flange plate here will attach to the T-support that's up there already. And then this little X piece I'm going to use to bridge between the two brackets. So we'll have two brackets on the wall, and then that X brace will go on top to keep them stout from side to side action. Yeah, I'm going to take all these beams, clean up all this firewood, and put it in its appropriate place. The rebar, man, I really don't want to mess with the rebar this trip, but I may go ahead and take it, make a pile out there for it, get it out of the way. I'd like to bring this road out just a little bit right here. then I need to bring this corner, make it more of a sweeping corner right there. I got a big old pile of firewood to move there too. I can put that in the dump trailer and, you know, with the machine, dump it over here somewhere. So on this little road here that's going north, I'm gonna bring it out a little further. That'll allow me to make a little berm with soil and then put rocks on that for that bar ditch, because that's going to be the primary way that the water drains and eventually ends up into the pond. You know, to drain down the side of this road, dump in that other creek that dumps in on the north side of the pond, and make it to the pond. Right in here, I'm going to make a little ponding area. And once it fills up, it'll dump over and run down that bar ditch. This direction, I'm going to make the road slope that way, just for the first probably 40 feet. And then the other side will slant that way. Right here, I'll just build some rock up so that the water has to come down and dump in this little pool that's going to be here. This part of the road's already slanting the right direction. I may put a little bit more soil on top of it and just grade it out a little bit steeper. Then it'll dump, you know, into this bar ditch that'll be on the side here and run downhill to that ponding area. I've got a good bit of rock already up here that I picked out as I was making the road go up. I'll use that up and then see what I still need to put on this side. I'd like to finish this inside portion because that's what has the water rushing down it. I know it's hard to gauge depth right here. This drops down probably 7 feet to that point. I want to make maybe 2 dikes come out to meet a level point right there. So as that water sheets off the road and starts to run down, it'll pond behind it and then slowly wick out of it to the next lower one. And then a good portion of this, it's just going to run down and end up in the pond. It'll soak in, you know, some to this little, I'll put some little bitty dikes on this too to trap water between each one. That's a long ways down. From this point, I'm standing right here to the bottom's probably around 30 feet of the rock. So this side, I'm just gonna, you know, dump rock on the side, and then here, where the road meets the edge here, I'm gonna mound it up, probably about 2.5 feet high. So you have a little bit of a bumper in case you come down when it's wet and start to slide. It won't go off. You sure don't want to go down that. I can tell you that for sure. The other side of the road, I'm going to put rock on it, but it's going to be flush with the edge. And I'll probably put some real large rocks spaced out maybe every 5 feet down it so that you can see the edge even in the dark when you're coming down it. This part of the road is going to have quite a bit of water running down it. So I'm going to make a couple little dikes on it as well. Probably one right in here. And then one about right in there. And that should catch the bulk of it and slow it down. It'll make it spread out. Here you can see I'm actually higher than that other portion of the road there. I'm gonna fill that in and keep going up right through there. That's gonna be where that road's gonna go up and then curve and keep going up until it hits the top of this peak here. Right in this area, I'm gonna make about 3-4 parking spots for cars. That's gonna be a real nice scenic overlook there. You can see that's the spot that I've made it to so far with the fill spoils from the pond. Like I said, I'm gonna keep bringing that up until that's one nice smooth pitch coming up. Probably gonna straighten this corner up a little bit right here. You can see all this is solid rock over here with a little bit of nice soil between the cracks, which is where all the grass grows and everything else. Over here, this part of the road, I'll probably just cap it with a little bit of soil so I can make it real smooth. You can see that's going north there. So this is the road going along this little ranch fence here that cuts through the property. I've got a little wash that's coming through here, but I've also got a roundabout that I have it there. It's a real rough cut. I'm gonna clean that up and make it smooth so it doesn't tear my tires up, because when I'm building this road that's going to go up on the high point here, it'd be much easier to drive up that road from the bottom of the valley forward. I could pull over here, make this roundabout, and turn around, and then back up to dump them spoils. So I'm going to clean all this up. But where this little wash comes through here, it's catching the water that's coming off the side of that higher area there. I'm going to make it follow the side of the roundabout, and right in here I'll make a holding area. I'll put some big rocks underground and then cap it with soil, and it'll just filter through those rocks and spring back up on the other side here and keep going down and end up in the creek that feeds the pond, the main creek. This portion of the road, all I'm going to do with that is cap it with 2 foot or so of spoils that I dig out of this upper pond that I'm going to dig out of this area in here, all the way down. And that's going to dam off the water that used to sheet drain this way. I want it to pull in there and just soak in. I'm still going to catch quite a bit of water from the side of this mountain to feed the pond, and then all this area out here where you see it's a little bit greener sheets this way. I guess that's enough rambling about projects and what I'm going to do on the road. See you on the next one.